Hello, folks. Howard, what's going on? Mario, what's up? Gary, bless up. Everybody else that's here, say hi. So, Summer Cook, what's going on? If you're there, just give a hello so we can give you a shout out. Darren, welcome to Jamrock. Hope everybody's doing well. Howard, good to know you're doing well. Siobhan, big up. Dallas Farm, Tiana, what's going on, girl? Family. Um, who else is here? If you're new to this is iGoat Chat, that where we talk about everything to do with goat business and small farm business. So, um, if you know anybody who's interested in this kind of conversation, feel free to share. And we love to share. That's what we do. We share everything. Chester, big up. You guys hear the dog in the background because we're on the farm, which is a blessing to be broadcasting from the farm. I soon go out there and tell that dog to shut up. Not that he'll listen to me, but big up Chester from New York. All the foreign people, give a shout out. Wayne, bless up. If you're outside of Jamaica, just let us know where you're from so we can big up your space and give thanks that you're here. Um, let's try to get the numbers up to like 20 before we start. Mr. Brian, what's going on, boss? Is Florida warmer than up north? Are you guys still getting, the tail end of some cool weather? Yeah, Howard, I know you're in the Bahamas. Hope everything is good over there. Was in New York, Florida. Arthur and Reed, good night. Bless up. Jesse's in Miami too. Yeah, we got quite a few overseas people here. International family representing. Okay, so tonight is basically one of those nights where we're just gonna dig into what is going on with this importation of animals. What is the story? What is going on? Remember, I brought this up a few weeks ago, and I said when I have more information, I'll bring it to you guys. Everybody went quiet. When I say everybody went quiet, everybody went quiet on it until the news hit the newspaper, until we saw the article in the Observer and it was in the Gleaner that the Minister of Education said permits were issued for 200 small ruminants and a special permit, extra permit issued for 37 small ruminants to be imported. So, of course, we got a small group of people who immediately were linking each other saying, "Yeah, we see this. It's brought to my attention." Posted in our WhatsApp group, like, "Oh, we see this. It's a go. It's a go." Now, I said, "Okay, I'm gonna post it on Facebook and I go chat." The minute I post it, my phone start blowing up with people calling me. One, people calling me to explain that one, the report is not accurate. Well, you know the old time saying, if something not go so, it nearly go so. Well, it's one of those scenarios. So apparently, it's not the association that got the special permit. It's case, the college case. So the Minister of Agriculture, according to the report, stated that the permit was the association. Whether he misspoke or he was given inaccurate information or the newspaper got it wrong, whichever it is, a phone call came to me to correct it to say it's not the association, it's case. Now, the problem I have is, according to the news report, the press briefing was on the Tuesday, and the report came out on Thursday. So the Minister of Agriculture had his press briefing on the Tuesday. So all parties involved must have been aware of this briefing. Nobody said anything. When I mean nobody, I mean all the players involved. Nobody said, yes, permits are issued. Yes, we're going ahead with this importation. Not until it hit the news. Even when it hit the news, if we didn't post it on a Facebook group publicly, I don't know if I would have got a call or anybody would have addressed it. Up till this point, the real players will not go on record, not even to correct the report. Let me break this down. Case got a special permit, but it's been established that the players in the case application, it's not just case. The people involved to make that shipment, this is what I'm told, to make that shipment from case, to make that shipment worthwhile or economical, they had to reach out to some people to fill the space, because case alone can't fill the like, the shipping animals, and the crate that holds animals may hold 20 animals or whatever it is, or obviously maybe 40 or 50 animals or something, but case wasn't planning on purchasing that many animals or importing that many animals. So they reach out to their friends or associates to fill the space. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is saying this is what's going on. Now, mind you, CASE is a government entity. CASE is a school. CASE is entitled to have research and development of small ruminants, which would be beneficial to the sector. I just don't understand why there's no transparency. Why can't we have transparency with these things? Like, what is the big deal? Why everything has to be such a secret? The report says the association was given special permit, and nobody from the association come out and say, yo, that's not accurate. We didn't get no permit. Nobody. Even when we made it public on Facebook. Nobody will come out and say, yo, that's not accurate. We didn't get a permit. No permit was issued to the Small Ruminants Association. I don't understand what is so hard in clarifying or setting the record straight or issue a statement to correct the report. What is so hard in that? So, knowing what we do, like if people are gonna call me to correct the record, correct the report, but they want to be off the record. So now I can't call people name to say, yo, this person or that person say this is what's going on. I can only speak on it because it's in the news and it affects our sector. This platform and this show we do is all about informing the sector about what's going on or teach people, inform people on how to make their operation better or present information that will give them an opportunity to succeed. So now the importation of animals is important to the sector, like massively important. We need somebody to actually import animals and have do it successfully. So then we know there's a precedent. So then me, you, Maki, whoever can come together or on their own and say, okay, we're gonna go about it and do it because it's been done before in recent times with a new set of criteria, with everything set up. So why it has to be a secret? Why this whole thing has to be a secret? If it is for the better of the sector and it's to help me, you, and the next man, why everything needs to be a secret? If the press briefing was on Tuesday, how comes none of us know about it until it's in the news? If somebody saw a news of a posting on a Facebook page or somewhere that said that, correct me, please. I don't want to be here spewing garbage and I'm wrong. I don't want to be saying stuff and I'm wrong. So if you guys, any one of us here right now, know that you saw it before that newspaper posting, before I post the Observer or the Gleaner thing, please correct me. But I didn't see it. My friends didn't see it. But the report clearly said he had a press briefing on the Tuesday the 8th. Let me get my dates right. Yeah. And it was Thursday that this report in the Observer came out. This is like the same old, same old. As much as people talk about helping farmers and moving the sector forward and moving needle, them still operating under the CMO, secrecy, under table business. I want this thing to be successful. I need it to be successful. I need somebody to get animals, new set of animals in the country. We need this. Set a precedent so me and you can go in and say, yo, it's been done. You can't tell me it's been done. This is whatever this guy did, that's what I want to do. I am not against anybody getting it done, whichever way you want to get it done, as long as you have some transparency and be upfront. And I said, yo, this is what we're doing. Give us your blessings. Let's see if we can get this done because it will be a big deal for everybody. Why the secrecy? If Case is in a position where they're saying, yo, this is Case business, we don't have to tell anybody, okay, fine. But the word on the street is it's not just Case people involved. It's not just Case. There's other people involved. And the worst part about it too is the people who are involved, some of them should not be involved because it's conflict of interest. Or if you're going to be involved, knowing your position, put it out there that you guys are doing this, because I know that it's quote unquote a pilot project at this point. Put it out there that, yo, we're doing this. We're going through the rigmarole to see how this works. And once we get it done, we're going to know exactly what to do so everybody else can do what we did to get it in. Just put it out there. You think I'm going to be upset to know that they're doing it and they're going through the rigmarole to get it done? I wouldn't be. I'm like, oh, yeah, by all means, keep me posted. I want to know exactly what I need to do to when I'm ready to do it. I'm sure Maki would love to know. I'm sure Crawford would love to know. I'm sure Mark Cook would love to know. There's a lot more people would love to know the ins and outs, what's needed, the criteria, how it gets done. Nobody's gonna fight you for doing something that we know is so important, and it's at this point it is a pilot project. Nobody knows how it's gonna unfold. The likes of Al Arch and them who did it before. Al Arch, I can speak on because he talked about it on our show. He did it himself. Drove the animals from Texas to Miami for quarantine himself. But that was years ago. Things change, criteria change. The requirements that the government has now changes. We're talking about today. How do we get it done today? And if there is permits issued and people are in the process of doing this, it says by the end of March. So what's the big secret? What is the big secret? The only thing I can say is here's one thing. If animals come into Jamaica, these animals coming by the end of March, who's to say when the next set of permits is going to be issued, right? Because as I said before, if I was Dr. Watson, I'm going to wait and see what happens with the first set of animals to see if I have any problems the first 6 months before I issue anymore. I don't want a whole bunch of them coming in and then I have a big problem. I'd rather wait and see what happens with these ones over a 6 month period before I issue anymore. Now, if something goes wrong and him put a hold on any importation, now these guys have these animals in secret. I don't know. Like you can't, in my opinion, is you can't be in a position of representation or, public figure or government representative and at the same time trying to do things for yourself. It doesn't make sense. You can't convince me you are for improvement of the sector when the decisions and the moves you make is for yourself. No, they've been working on the registry for 2, 3 years, right? Paul came on and tell us all about it. We haven't got an update on it lately, but Paul is due to give us an update. Now, when these animals come, all of a sudden the registry is going to be ready, and these animals are going to be the only traceable animals on the island. It's ridiculous that this is happening and nobody wants to speak on it. Nobody wants to speak on it. And I'm definitely calling out the association because their names mentioned. They were mentioned. They're mentioned in the report. And people have to be calling me, telling me, oh no, the association didn't get any. What does it take from somebody from the association to say, yo, that's not true? Members of the association, that's not true. We don't have no permit. I tell you, we don't have no permit. That's all it takes. I don't understand. Now, on another level, I had extensive conversation with players involved. Unfortunately, nobody wants to be on the record. However, the permit that was issued needs some clarity, or put it bluntly, the way the permit is worded and the requirements for the permit, there's a 90% chance it cannot be fulfilled because finding a farm in America that will fulfill the requirements needed is far in between. Now, we're not talking about the 200 animal permit, we're talking about the special permit. The special permit for the 37 animals. That permit, as it stands, basically can't be executed at this point. It's going to need some augmentation or amendments. I think that's a proper word. It will need some amendments in order for it to happen. So, what is going on? If Dr. Watson's going to issue a permit, Dr. Watson set the standards. The initial report was they're going to screen farms and have authorized farms in the US that we can buy animals from to import into Jamaica. Those farms will be able to meet the requirements that Dr. Watson set out. Now, why would Dr. Watson give you a permit that can be fulfilled? If he's deciding where you go get the animals, He's setting the requirements and the criteria for the importation. Why would he issue you a permit that cannot be fulfilled or slim chance of fulfilling it? I don't I don't understand that part of it. Unless Dr. Watson knows something we don't know. If Dr. Watson thinks that that application is problematic, but he's not in a position to deny it for lobbying reasons or whatever political reasons or personal relationship is reasons or whatever it is, he can make it hard. He could say, oh, okay, I'll give you the permit. If you can meet these requirements, then you're good. But the information I got is that the permit is next to just a piece of paper we're not use at this point because the requirements on it is like next to impossible. And I see there's some questions here about how this benefit. Why is this important? Now you say, why is this a big issue? How is it going to help small farmers? All the so-called big farmers going to benefit. And when that happens, the small farmer still can't get a full blood or purebred animal to buy because the price will be the same as um, I think it continued not enough space there. However, let me answer that. This is important to all of us, whether you're a medium farmer, small farmer, or I don't know who is a big farmer. It's important for growth. We have a sector. We have a small ruminant sector. We don't have a small ruminants industry. We're trying to get there. We're trying to advance the sector to create an industry out of it. However, in order to do that, we need proper genetics. We need new genetics. We can't use the same old genetics because basically everybody's gonna get end up being related to each other. We need all level of players. We need the breeders and we need the meat people and we need the milk people. I know for a fact that it's hard to find proper milk dairy goats. It's hard to find a lot of if I need 50 of them to have a good milk dairy program at this point it's really hard. It's next to impossible. I have to start looking for a needle in a haystack. So if I have the ability to import 25 good dairy animals, that's a boost for the milk production in the sector. If Maki has the ability to in, import 25 good new genetics, boar, full blood, which in turn means he can service the region, the Caribbean, everywhere. That's moving the needle forward in a positive way. Because now Trinidad, Guyana, all them places can look to Jamaica, shorter distance. It's the trading laws are better because I'm sure there's a CARICOM factor involved and all of that. It makes it easier. Jamaica could be the premium small ruminants supplier, distributor for the region, like whatever it is. But we have to, we need the framework and the laws, and we need everything to have the ability to keep improving on what we have. We need it. We can't sit here and say, oh, we have enough goat in Jamaica. We don't. But we don't even have enough quality when you talk about full blood, purebred, and the ability to trace it. So then we can confidently send 10 goats to Trinidad and say, yo, these goats for sure, fully registered, you can trace them back. We can ask premium money for them. We need to have the ability to have good dairy goats that can give us one goat can give us a lot of milk. Right now, we're milking graded animals. You know, I visited dairy farms in the US. I'm like, I'm so jealous. I wish I could have, that 48, 50 son and goats that's just giving me a lot of milk. Production is up there. Love to have that. Love to be able to import at least 10 of them and just grow from there. So we need them to move forward. We need this to go forward. We need somebody to be successful at this. What we don't need is the secrecy, the on the table move, none of that. Just set the standards. Put it out there. This is what you need to do to bring animals in. And whoever can afford it will do it. And people who can't afford it can pool their resources or wait until a man that can do it, bring it in, and then they get offsprings from it. Um, I'm trying to try to get my hands on the requirements. Apparently, there's an email was issued with what the current requirements are. I don't know if anybody will share the permit that was issued because nobody wants to be on the record. So I don't know if anybody's gonna willing to share that permit, a copy of the permit. Just set the standard. Say what it is. Create a level playing field. You can afford to go buy animals and ship them in, go ahead. This is what you need to do. It's that simple. We're always in a position where we're begging for information. I think personally, the association is intimately involved in all of this because they're at the table. So, whatever information comes down the pipeline, whatever ruling is made, whatever guidelines or requirements are issued, should be posted so members have an opportunity to do it on their own. I think that's how it should work. We shouldn't have to be hearing about no press briefing through the news. When we're paying association dues and the association is being named in the report. We need to have transparency. But now I hold my breath. I won't be holding my breath for it. But we're just putting it on the record that, yo, this is what we need. This is how we move the needle forward. This is how progress happens. Yes, Natty. If it's not Mr. Bernard, it's somebody from the association. I know for a fact the association is represented at the table. I'm not guessing about that. I'm not assuming. I know for a fact that the association has a seat at the table. Mr. Bernard tell us that himself on his videos, that he's at these meetings and big things are coming and this is going to happen. Remember that video? So we know the association is at the table. I'm not assuming that the association at the table. I know for a fact. So why can't we get some information? If the permit wasn't issued to the association, all they have to do is come out and say, no, we didn't get no permit. If them no want to say who get the permit, to say, yo, we're not in a position to say who got the permit, but we didn't get it. And I'm not trying to be an asshole about this. The reason I'm talking about this tonight is because people are given an opportunity to address certain things. And it comes back to the same old attitude of don't have to speak on anything. Don't have to answer to anything. This is in the news. I'm not talking about no hearsay, nothing. It's in the news. Yeah, and I'm passionate about it because we spend millions of dollars trying to develop our goat business. So I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. I seriously believe in it. Believe enough to spend millions of dollars and resources and time because we see where it can be something great. I don't care if a man have 10 goat or 200 goat. If you have 10 goat and you got 10 quality milking goat, that is almost 80 to $100,000 per month in milk. And I'm not guessing on these numbers. I'm telling you facts. So the reason I'm harping on it is the ability for people to have quality animals as per their production is vital. It's important. Don't tell me you want to grow XYZ, but you want to keep the information to yourself at the same time. How does that help anybody? If I can afford to bring in animals, I'm here say Maki bring in 10 animals. There is an opportunity for me to get 2 or 3 out of that 2 years down the road or whenever it is, because of the relationship with the Maki. It moves the needle forward. I may not be able to do it myself. Peter may not be able to do it himself. Lincoln may not do it himself. But as a collective, we could do 10 animals and we all benefit. All we need to know how we go about it. How do we get it done? Has it been done before? Is it successful? What are the requirements? And we could get that shit done. What are they scared of? I can tell you right now, there are people on here that's watching us right now, that's participating. All 42 of us that's here, 40, how many of us that are here? People that are here right now are serious people. I can tell you that. You know why I know they're serious? Because they're here. So if we pool resources, we can get it done. Information is key. You think that if Maki have 10 brand new genetics, fresh genetics, I know maybe 20 people at least in this thing right now that could get the animal from Maki over then. If Maki had those animals land on him farm today, within 2 years, at least 20 people from here will be able to get a buck or a female from Maki out of that pool. That's facts. And I know Mike is serious about if it's even 10 animals him can afford, him would have bring them in. Are you gonna tell me that's not progress? That's major progress. He can build out a whole meat herd just dealing with Maki alone. Information is key. So whoever controls the information has the power. But the people who holds information close and don't share it are the short-sighted people. They only looking at as far as them can see. The way I look at, for example, goat dairy in Jamaica, I wanted to blow up. I want everybody in Jamaica, 80% of the people in to say, yeah man, I drink goat milk and I use a goat product. Now let it who's the best guy at marketing his product, create the best product, let that guy win. Because we already create access, we already create a market. Let that guy win. That you want to beat me at it, you want to have a bigger piece of the pie, then do better marketing, create better product. But the only way that can happen is if a bunch of us is doing it, so everybody know it's there. That's how I see it. And I'm not gonna stop talking about it until something happens, until there is animals imported in Jamaica successfully, the new under the new requirements that levels the playing field for everybody. We will continually talk about it. Having a sector and an industry, two different things. Right now, we have a good small ruminant sector. We don't have an industry. We're trying to build an industry, but it seems like people just want to keep it as a sector and not build out an industry out of it. The only way we can get this to be a sector if we make it attractive for the people and with resources, people and with money. That's the only way. We can't have this whole attitude that it's a liquor man thing, it's a this, it's a that. No, we need to show this is sexy, this make money. Then we'll have some big players coming in, and we need the big players. But the people who I call the gatekeepers at this point, they're not doing the sector any justice. And if anybody here think I'm being too harsh, let me know. But I don't think so. I don't think I'm being too harsh. There's no way we can all stay quiet and just mumble amongst ourselves that we don't like this and I eat that thing that I can't believe the money, I do this and the money, I do that. No, I'm willing to go on the record and say, yo, this is BS. Don't tell me you want to move things forward and you're really not putting in the effort. You want to control it up. Or is it that you're just happy to go around and see, man, with them like a 10 goat, that's the one like a 10 goat, that's so, and just go around and say, yeah, we have a goat sector, goat farmers, and we help out goat farmers and whatever. You really want to help goat farmers? Give them a plan for growth and scaling. Show them the possibilities. Open up opportunities for them. That's how you help. Show them that it can be bigger than what they could even imagine. That's how you help. You want to help? Put it on paper and show them what 10 goats, 20 goats, 25 goats can do for them pocket. Put the numbers down. That's how you help. Share the real information. Not how for deworm a goat. You can find that on YouTube. How do I scale it? How do I keep my mortality rate down? How do I create 3 income stream from it? 4, 5. That's how you help. That's how you make it sexy. Keeping information to yourself is not going to help. That's how I see it. A level playing field for importation of animals will help everybody. Even the ones who can't afford it may think, oh, this is just for the big man, but you will be able to buy an animal from that big man. Well, the ones that are really willing to help you, that you regard as a big farmer. I don't know a big goat farmer. Let me mention another thing. Remember they came out and say they can't prove that there's any full blood or purebred in the country. I got pushback, serious blowback because I said if Mr. Bernard don't should have come and clarify the fact that he didn't want to clarify his statement to me is a position of arrogance because this is the sector you represent. So if you're gonna downplay the product, then you must have a reason to be downplaying it. If you're promoting something that's coming in the pipeline, then have some explanation of your position. We all know there's a lack of proper record keeping. But why you want to discount the whole thing just so you can make a point? And when you're called on it, you say, yo, I will speak what I feel like speaking. There's permits issued now for animals to come in. 200 from the government, 37 for a special permit. Factually, those animals will be able to be traced to their origin. Like lineage, genetics will be able to trace them. Does that mean that all these other animals that we're talking about, they can't prove they're full blood or purebred? Does that mean those animals are drastically devalued? Because now we have 200 and I don't know how many goats are gonna be in this. It's just a small ruminant, so I can't say how many goats. But let's just say the imported goats factually will be the only ones, or factually can be traced. I won't say they're the only ones because I'm sure Archer may have 2 goat left him can trace. But nobody sees the problem. Am I the only one who sees the problem? Is the registry magically going to be ready when these animals get here? And they're going to be the ones in the registry right off the bat? I'm just asking for a friend. Yeah. And for the record, yes, I'm a little irritated. I'm a little irritated by it because what we're doing is not a hobby thing. All these people, I good family, they're not doing this as a hobby thing. Them thing may be small right now, maybe a side hustle. But I know everybody got big dreams and big aspirations for them thing. I know that. How do we get there? Everybody's got to play their part. I'm not a breeder. I don't really need purebred and full blood for what we're doing to be successful. But we need animals with the genetics that will give us what we are looking for. We need animals that are going to give us more milk than we're currently getting for us to get to the level that we need to be. I can wait 5 years and try to breed it in, or I could import some animals next year and jumpstart the thing and get further along. Just give me a level playing field. Give us the opportunity to succeed. That's all we're looking for. The opportunity to succeed. Really and truly, nothing will change if we all keep quiet. If we all grumble to ourselves and be scared to talk about things that are just wrong, if we're all scared to talk about it, nothing will change. They'll just keep doing what they do. I want to see this sector move forward. I want to see successful goat businesses. I want to go into the supermarket and see lotion, soap, meat, cheese, and they all should say product of Jamaica, or most of them be products of Jamaica. I want to see that. It will not happen if we just stay quiet and just let the status quo go on forever. Nothing will change. So I'm imploring people, I'm imploring you all right here. Do not stop asking questions. Do not stop giving, don't stop giving your inputs. Don't stop bringing up issues that affect you. Don't stop putting your aspirations out there. We, as a collective, can make a difference. But we all know Jamaicans stay now. Let me give you, well, let me tell you why I say that. I post that thing on the Observer, from the Observer. I only get a few comments, and the people who comment are right here on with us right on the chat. Today, I went over to the Progressive, and I left another comment over there. Nobody wants to touch this thing with a long pole. Nobody wants to touch it. But these are the same people that must say them want new genetics and them want to be able to do this and do that and whatever. But nobody would ask even one question and say, yo, really? Association get permits? Yes, we are move forward. Nobody would touch it. No, I'm telling you. You would think that something that massive, we're talking about new animals, fresh blood, fresh genetics coming in and was issued to our association. And nobody no one touch it. Nobody no one ask no question. Nobody wouldn't even say, hooray, great, let's go. Good news, great news. Nobody will touch it. I wonder why. I wonder why nobody wants to get into that conversation. I don't understand. To me, that was big. That was a big deal. In fact, you guys know, been watching this thing forever. From when we tried to get in and them say, "Yo, no animals not coming for a while. We don't know when that's gonna happen." We've been asking. We've been, you know, asking the big players, asking the people them who have influence. How can we get this done? Who have influence over Dr. Watson? Who can talk to Dr. Watson? We've been asking from day one. We got permits for AI. We got permits for embryo. Nobody not touch live animals. Now the news is out there that permits is issued for live animals to come in. You would think it would be a big celebration or a lot of questions on how we get access, how we do this, what. Nobody wants to touch it. Is it because we're jaded, or we're just suspicious that this is not real, or we just have the whole, as a man say, yo, we think it's a sham that will end up in a big man in a selected few pocket or whatever it is? Is that the case? If that's the case, we have to change that. We have to change it. We can't just keep saying that to ourselves. We got to change it. We have to change the status quo. We have to disrupt in order for changes to happen. Something have to broke. Nothing changes if it stays the same. You have to piss off some people. You have to broke something. You have to reshape something. Nothing stays the same if if you don't change the shape right or broke it. It won't change. Everything will stay the same. It won't change. So we have to disrupt something to make changes. Karen, it's not about qualifying, bro. It's about gaining access. You know, lots of farmers, I think personally, this is gonna piss off some people, but lots of farms I see, I visit, to me, not qualified to be a pilot farm to develop the small ruminants sector, to be able to know so you can go back there 2 years or a year out and get two animals for distribute somewhere else. Some farms I know not capable of doing that. But it doesn't mean that they can be a recipient from an established pilot farm. It's just that I don't think they're the ones to be the pilot farm to develop it. It's that simple. I see the likes of Maki being a pilot farm that can develop whatever the government decide to do. I would tell a man, bring 10 goat going to Maki any day. I'm sure you will get 20 back. Easy, easy. Because he's proven that he can manage it and he can build on it. He can improve it. So it's not about the small man. It's about being logical, being just objective and say, okay, I want to build this out. Who do I give it to? Who has proven that they will give us return on it? Who's keeping proper records? Who's proven themselves? And give it to them and say, yo, we're going to make a deal. I'll come back next year and get 10 animals to distribute. Yes, Leon, we spoke about that video. They made that video. But what we're addressing right now is a news report. Where's the response to the news report? Okay, Mark. The only challenger, okay, guys, I'm going to address Mark here for a second. Mark, the only challenger that I'm aware of in the recent couple of years to Bernard was Mackie and myself. And you know what happened to that challenge? COVID happened to that challenge because we couldn't get a meeting or what they call a general meeting where they do the vote and all that stuff because of COVID. So then Mackie and I just move on to more important things like with business. Because make no sense get stuck on a hamster wheel and there was no end in sight. So we just say, yo, let's leave that alone and move on to running our business and developing our business. I think we're doing a better job helping farmers than even if I was dealing with them people right now. Because I'm not a politician and I can't deal with that. I was excited about helping farmers and distributing information and lobbying, but right now I feel like I'm doing a better job informing people by doing iGoat chat and giving people information, valuable information on a weekly basis. So that's my take on it, gentlemen and ladies and everybody involved. If you have any questions that you feel like I should address, I'm happy to speak on them. I'm in a vibe tonight. I feel like I can, you know, be straight up, blunt, and objective about all of these issues. My objective is move the needle forward. Positivity we're dealing with. I want to see success. I want to see farmers have success. No, I truly can tell you the amount of questions I answer on this phone from farmers just message message us asking us, "Oh, I got this issue with my goat." I answer it every day because to me that's helping a farmer, saving a goat. That's money in a farmer's pocket. I want to see farmers succeed. I want to see more success story. Okay, let's do real help right now. Lucien said, Ray, I lost 7 kids in the space of a month and I can't pinpoint the issues. How do you keep good kids alive? Share some tips. All right. Let me tell you what we do, and I'm sure our community here is going to have a lot to say about this. Kid management, breeding, kidding, all of that starts with the mother being healthy, proper nutrition on the mother. That's where it starts, right? Secondly, sanitization. Wherever the mother is going to have the kid, make sure that area is fairly clean. It doesn't have to be like a hospital. Just need to be clean, you know what I mean, and free of debris or anything that will harm the kid or the mother, right? There are certain steps you should take once a mother have kid. We don't really get deeply involved in the mother kid thing unless they need it. So what we do is here are the steps. The mother is gonna have kid. We see that the mother have kid. I don't get involved. We don't get involved unless the mother is struggling. Mother do her thing, have her kid. We make sure the kid is breathing. Half the time, 80% of the time, we don't have to touch the kid. The mother do that all on her own. What we do, and this is our input to make sure that the kids are up sucking and can deal with the outside world. Make sure the kid sucks. We spray the navel, so make sure fly don't take that. Spray it with iodine. We give omega-3 to kickstart the kid, give the kid some energy so the kid can get up and suck and all that. Once we see the kid suck or 2 kids suck and suck for like 30 seconds, a minute or whatever, and we see that the mother is cleaning up the kid and being attentive to the kid, the only thing left for us to do is observe and keep them clear of any keep the kids clear of any danger. This is omega-3. This is what we give this we give the kid, and you can see what it says, right? Energy drench, high calorie liquid diet for goats, and the use of direction is newborn is 2 pumps as soon as possible after birth. See it? I don't know if this is available locally, but we try to get it in. You can order it and ship it in through thing. It's not prohibited, but it's just as it says, omega-3 energy drench. So you can create your own. You can use hemoplex. You can use whatever that will boost some energy. I mean, electrolyte, whatever. It's just a booster to get the kid up. Now, if you're having a bunch of mothers having kids, you have to have a system where these kids and the mother are protected. Kids and goats and sheep operate different. Goats are so aggressive. I always say that when you see those drawings of goat being evil and shit, there's a reason, because I watch goats do some things to each other. I'm like, yo, these goats are evil. So if you know you have aggressive goats, or a goat in the bunch is aggressive, take that aggressive goat out. You know what I mean? Give space for the kids to move around, because the mother can lay down on the kid. And if you're in a group where the mother don't have the space and freedom to feed the kid won't get enough nutrients, so the kid would end up dying. So kid management is something you have to, observation is the number one thing. And do something. Don't wait. Always be observing the mothers and the kids. If you guys watch what we do, I start isolating mothers, because we've discovered that the more freedom the mother has to eat and to feed the kids, the better growth rate we get, the healthier kids and healthier mothers we get. And remember, the last month of pregnancy is when the mother is most prone to worm, most prone to health issues, because all the body's focusing on is developing these kids. So they're in a weaker state of their immune system is diminished. So you have to give them more supplement, or increase grain, or make sure they're eating very well, give them high quality forage, because just think about a mother having kids. You think if a mother having a regular of human having babies, and the mothers have a craving. The cure way, if a mother say a fried chicken and for a craving, the cure way they have to go get it for her. Look at it that way. Um, Another question. What do you use to estimate a good breed goat to know if we getting rip off or not? Whew. Whew. All right. Let me see if I can answer this one. Number one thing, buy from, if you're new to this and you don't know how to do the assessment, like us, like me, that don't know nothing about goat, buy from reputable breeders. And reputable meaning there's a consensus from a group of people that says, yo, that guy will treat you right. Right? Buy from that person. Or if you go to somebody that you really don't know about them that much, but they have the ability to show you the mother, show you the father, give you the birth weight, weaning weight, and prove it to you. Like when you go there, them willing to put the goat on a scale and say, yo, the goat born this date, and now is this old, but look how heavy the kid is. So you know the potential growth, you can see the potential in the kid, then there you go. You know. If you're willing to get into goat, then you should actually be doing your own research and know what and a good daily gain is on a kid. Then you should know, that okay, if a kid's weighing 45, 48 pounds at 3.5 months, whatever, you know that kid is growing very well. You know, the confirmation how good the goat look. You know what I mean? If you just look at the goat and say, the goat's healthy, you can tell. The coat is smooth, shiny, the goat is energetic, all of that stuff. Then you're like, yeah, this is a good move. That's what I use. You know, number one thing, especially if you want to get into breeding. See what the mother look like, see what the father look like, and weaning weight. Those are the three data you want to know. You want to know those three things. You guys ask me any of these questions. I love answering these questions because I'm new to this, just like all of us. But I may have done a lot, some more research than other people because I'm kind of obsessed with that thing. But I don't mind sharing what we done and the mistakes we've made. What's the best bag fee for lactating though? Why? Whew. Here's the deal. That's a very tough question to answer because it's all based on your management and what you're doing, what forage you have available to you. There's no, the reason it's hard to answer the question is because what works on my farm may not work on yours because of my management and what I have available to me. Right? So you'd have to ask the man, like, you'd have to ask somebody like Khalil who has dealt with different situations and different and it's even hard to ask him now because him is a hyper man, so he may be biased to hyper product. But what I can tell you is that lactating ration is, it helps produce milk, and I think they're both companies produce decent lactating ration. It's your management and the forage you have available to you, the feed that the forage that you have available to you, how you manage and feed your animals is important because without that, it doesn't make a difference if you're feeding them hyper or Nutramix. You ain't gonna get no milk, or you're not gonna get enough milk. You just have to know that if they're being fed well and being fed the right thing, you will get the appropriate amount of milk based on the animal, if the animal is a good milk producer or not. Any other questions? If you're going to have more than one mother in a particular, ensure they both get along. Facts, 100%. Recently, I had to move a mother out and put her and her kid in the Winners Lounge prematurely because the space she was in, she had two other goats in the space with her, big space, but they just abuse her. They brutalize her. And I could see that it was having a real effect on her because she starts to get skinny. She starts to lose weight. She wasn't eating enough. And to me, that means, yo, my kid's not going to grow enough. Can't have that. So move her and put her in the winner's lounge where she can eat freely and her kid can run around. She's down there prematurely, but yo, what's important is the health of the mother and the growth of the kid. Don't be scared to make changes. You know, don't be scared to make changes. And maybe sometimes your space is limited and all that stuff, so you have to figure out how do you make it work. For us, we move things around all the time, juggle things, move things, just to make it work for us, just to make sure we, give ourselves a greater chance of success. As you speak about skinny, how do you bring back a goat to good weight? Whoa, hey man, let me tell you something. That is the biggest struggle in a goat business, really, for us. man, you guys, I talk about my experience and my friends' experience. Like a goat will drop off real bad in 3 to 4 days and take 5 months to come back. If anybody have that experience or agree with me, give me a thumbs up. If trust me, I can be way off on this. If anybody ever had this experience where a goat will drop off in like 4 days in a week, the goat look like just skinny and whatever, especially if diarrhea take it hard and some, and then it will take 3 to 4 months, even longer, for the goat to look the way the goat looked before he got sick. Like seriously. Somebody need to explain to me what's the deal with that. What is the deal with that? Yeah, sometimes like they just never return, never come back to what they were before. Sometimes them dead all 6 months down the road and never, because they never come back to what they were. They just be in this limbo for months. And no matter what you do, nothing. Yeah, so that's a tough one. So all I got to say is, how do you do it? Attention, enough attention. And I find that when I go get to that point, if you in a grazing this system, don't send the goat for graze. I find that they burn up too much energy grazing, so that the recovery is delayed or they get worse. So if a goat is in that state where you realize, oh, it's getting too skinny, pull it in, keep it in, and pamper it, TLC, 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 and energy, whether it's in the form of hemoplex or something in the water on a consistent basis. And just TLC, because for some reason, they sure take a long time to recover. Yeah, and just yeah, keep in mind, as our word says, every goat is gonna have some level of worm load in there that they can live with, and then there's a time when it may, especially if the last month of pregnancy, that worm load will just take over, and you have to be very observant and notice the change, because every goat lose weight after kidding. But if they lose too much, you gotta pay attention. You say maybe worms are taking over the goat because of the weak immune system. So it's observation, observation, observation. Just keep watching. Two things. If your goat graze, if you send your goats to graze, there's two times during the day that you can do serious observation: when they're going out to graze and when they're coming in. Never miss the coming in if you want to do some serious observation on your animals. Never miss the coming in from grazing. The coming in from grazing tells you everything you need to know about the health of your herd. And I'll explain. The goats that are in the back will only be in the back struggling to keep up if one, they're sick, or two, they're heavily pregnant, or they got some form of injury. Now, if the goat's in the back, you know is not pregnant, you know the goat's not injured, then that means something is wrong with the goat. The goat is either coming down with worm, have too much of a worm load, or injured. And then you can tell if that goat's been out there all day with everybody and everybody coming in and their barrel is just busting, like they're just full, and this goat still look like this coming in. That goat was out there doing nothing, wasn't eating, maybe pick and lay down, pick and lay down. That goat doesn't need to go grazing. That needs to be the goats to come in and be treated for whatever the problem is. So that's the key. That's how you figure out who in your herd is not doing so well. And then again, you should have a standard by which your goat them supposed to look. When know when a goat drop below that, you know something's not right, and you address it. See something, do something. Any other questions? This question is for everyone. How do you guys bounce back from a big loss on your farm? Let's say you lose a couple animals. How do you guys cope and keep yourself motivated? Because losing animals can really be discouraging. I love this question. Love this question. And the reason I love this question is because I'm one of them guys. I'm one of them guys who will be sitting here dropping F bombs and just like cussing to myself and blaming myself and everything because I lose one goat or I lose two goat. I am that guy. No joke. Like seriously, I am that guy. Trudy can contest to that. I'll be that guy who'll be analyzing everything. Did I pull the goat from the herd early enough? Did I miss something? Did we all miss something? Did we not do this? Did we not? Everything. I'll be beating myself to a pulp. How do I get over it? Time or newborn kids? Newborn kids do it all the time because in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm replacing that with these new kids. But it's tough. Yeah, I still remember, still think about a white freckled female we lose earlier, about a couple months ago, last month, Trudy. Yeah, freckled mother we lose last month, and I watched that goat deteriorate for about 2 months, pulling her out of the herd, keep her in, whatever, and nothing we do, she wouldn't improve, and she just died. The thing is, we bought her as part of the package way back when. I really don't know how old she is, so I don't know if she died of old age or whatever. But yeah, I still in my head thinking, oh my god, because I loved her. She was like very friendly, and she always produced amazing kids, and there's nothing we could do. So you just gotta keep the faith and just try to shake it off. Virgin, don't even try to shake it off. Just think positive and think about some new kids coming because. And I understand if your herd is small, it's even worse because you feel like you're taking a step back. But community like this will help you. Reach out to somebody. Tell one of us, say, oh dude, I lose a couple goats last night or yesterday, or lose one last week, and it's very discouraging. And somebody will give you a word, of upliftment and positivity and keep you going. You don't have to keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? Just think positive and take take it as a learning experience, and it toughen you up, you know. But trust me, you're not alone. As you can see, everybody in here understand how that go. Everybody knows. Everybody's been there. And the worst is when you lose all that nice doling that you're looking forward to say, oh, I go to that doling's gonna give you some nice kid. And something happened and she dies. But it's part of it, part of the business. Any other question before we wrap this up? I'm like, oh, we just end this on a positive note, helping each other and move on from the arms house. Second eye never hurts. Never hurts, Natty. It never hurts to get somebody else to look. Send the picture to somebody, send a video to somebody and say, what do you think? And they'll tell, and make sure you send to somebody who's not scared to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Always send to somebody who's not scared to tell you the truth. On iGoat, the Facebook group, iGoat chat, iGoat Facebook group, there's thing there to sign up for mentorship, where you want to mentor somebody or seek mentorship. So you guys should utilize that because it's welcome. You know what I mean? Like helping each other is key. You know, teaching each other how things work for you, giving them your opinion, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and sharing in ideas and information is key. So you guys can go ahead and activate that, and we can help each other grow and save some animals. You know, like trust me, like it would be nice to know that we can all have kidding periods where the mortality rate is next to nothing. Like we don't have to worry about it. We lose one or two, that's it. Because we all know what we need to do. And if we don't, we have somebody we can hit up or go to the group and ask some questions and get answers. Yeah, there you go. There's Natty's willing to help. Everybody know I'm willing to help whoever I can, whether on the phone or if it's close proximity to me that I can go check it out. Yeah, we're willing to help. That's what we're about. Community helping. As I said, even in the iGo chat Facebook group, if you're gonna post in the group, bring some value. Don't just post a nice goat. I don't care to see a nice goat. If it ain't bringing value to people, if it ain't helping people, then just keep it. Like it doesn't make sense post a nice goat if it's not gonna help somebody. If the goat's nice and looking good, at least tell us what you're doing. Tell us that y'all, this goat been feeding this goat nothing but, you know what I mean, lucina or nothing but guinea grass or whatever, and just so somebody can say, oh, maybe I should try that. Don't just post a goat and say, oh, him look good, whatever. I don't care. Honest, real talk. I don't care, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't care. Bring some value. Bring something that will help the next man. That's all I'm saying. How much money do you wait? How much do you wait to bring kids out to grazing? Um, okay, so the way our system work is all the bucklings that we have, all the animals that are going to market, whether they're being sold for meat or being sold to another small farmer, females or bucklings, we don't send them out to graze. We keep them in. We feed them the grass, the shaft grass that their mother been eating, everybody has been eating, but we don't graze them, and we don't do that for one reason because we have like a showcase thing going on. The Wieners Lounge is where these animals sit, live, and play. And when people come to buy the animals, they can see them and they see that they're healthy. And it's like our showcase window. So the animals that we're selling, the Wieners, don't go grazing. However, the ones that we decide we're keeping, they start grazing about 5 months, 6 months. We start grazing them. So we start them out slowly. We actually start them from the weaning lounge. They will go out with the general herd, but they'll come back to the weaning lounge until we fully integrate them into the herd. So that's how we do it. You know what I mean? It's a simple. We don't the animals that we're selling. They just stay in the weaning lounge for people to see them when they come, and then the ones we're keeping, 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I think at the 4.5, 5 months mark is when they start going out. Because that's when they completely off the mother. I don't want to send them out there and their mother is out there and them get back to sucking the mother. That's defeat the purpose. So we try to make sure them off completely off before we get them back out there. The reason we don't send the kids out at all to graze is because we're so like daily growth, daily gains, and the health of the kids, and then the kids is where the money is at for us. So we got to protect that with everything. The kids is where the money is at. So we got to protect it. So that's why we don't have a system that the kids go out. I'd rather keep the mothers in, feed the mothers in for the 2 months, and because that's where the money's at. Daily gains on my kids is like really important, like paramount. So we can't afford to sabotage that or slow that down in any way, shape, or form. Everything we do is to make sure they they grow. Intensive. Our system is a semi-intensive. So what I mean. The intensive people, if you're gonna do it, if you have an intensive operation, then you have to set up housing and thing accordingly so you can manage it. Then there's no grazing. But for us, everything maintenance mothers and them go graze. Save us on labor to feed them and they don't get grain, they just go eat grass. That's it. Any other question before I call it a night? We're almost up on 2 hours. Man, you guys are killing it tonight. One of the things I find with kids going out to graze too early, it slows down the growth rate. It slows down the growth rate. And as I said, our money's in the kids. So the kids that are running up and down out there doing all kinds of stuff slows down the growth rate. Yeah, if you mainly a grazing system, then you just have to accept it or figure out a way to supplement it when they come in to try to keep that growth rate up. Yeah, whether you're giving them green when they come in or something. You have to figure it out because that's where the money is. Yeah, vaccination, you vaccinate kids 3 months, or you can vaccinate the mother a month before kidding. So it passes on to the kid through colostrum. It's good protection. All right. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks everyone for participating. And we'll keep you posted on if there's any further development on the original topic we discussed, the importation and the ramification of people not being transparent when it comes to information coming from above that affects the sector. Thank you all for being here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep it positive, help each other out when needed, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. Who's into that? Good night. Bless up, my mother, Bob's Messiah. Bless up, respect. Everyone, give thanks. See you guys next week. All right. Thanks.